information. Attention seniors. Brown's graduation will be here on Monday, October 12th at 9:30 in the SAC to discuss graduation. Attention all members of National Honor Society. All candidates vying for office have submitted a video expressing their ideas and qualifications to hold an office in the National Honor Society. After viewing all of the videos, select one person for each office on the ballot. The videos and ballot are in the NHS Google Classroom. Please view and vote by 12:00 p.m. on Friday, October 9th. For lunch today, there will be a choice of mac and cheese or beef fingers. In the cafe, there will be a grilled chicken sandwich. Thank you and have a great day.
Okay, guys, good morning. So this morning, what we are doing, we are going to continue working on our documentary assignment, and I'm going to tweak mine a little bit because I gave you guys a sample, and I'm not completely happy with it. I'm going to tweak it a little bit. Tell you what really helped me was looking over these questions because I knew how I felt about each documentary, although I did make up one. The other one I did see. And that's okay for a teacher to do. You guys don't need to do that. But anyway, after reading through this, I was able to pinpoint what I needed to write about. So I'm going to go back and clean it up, make it a little bit more sharp. But again, what we're doing, when I read through my questions, what is the central argument being made by the filmmaker? That really helped me because I felt like in the first video or the video that I watched, it was just promising kind of like how it affected the world. And it was almost like it just, through the whole video, it just, showed how bad it was. And at the very end, it was all of a sudden, and then because of this, everything was made better. And I really preferred if it would come out and, say that at the beginning and sprinkle that all the way through instead of just kind of having a surprise element for me. So that helped me a lot. What central argument was made by the filmmaker. You ought to be able to pinpoint that. It should be clear in the beginning. Evidence the filmmaker offers and support. Again, that's very important. The story being told. You might have an opinion on that if you don't like the way it was told or if you think it didn't work. And again, we have to be careful and not just make this like a critique of the documentaries, but we are saying we're trying to focus on one aspect and then write about how each one, because if you don't do that, you could have a much longer paper than what we're needing here. So again, picking that one aspect of the documentaries to talk about. Let's see, the people, you can talk about the people, maybe how the filmmaker chose certain people to be in it, and you might say that was a strength or a weakness if you want to focus on the people in it. You could just choose editing, music, or cinematography for that. And sequences here have a unique, clear beginning, middle, and end. And that was another problem I had with the one I saw on the Spanish flu. It just didn't really, it wasn't good. Do you see how the ordering of these sequences also advances the overall narrative? And does the pacing feel right to you, right? So those are the main questions. And you had another one down here. Does it talk at you or engage you? And that might be something that you can focus on to be the aspect of your comparison in your two. Does anybody have any questions? And I wanted to ask also, where are you guys on in this assignment? Because I really don't know how you are. I know that some of you probably just found, I'm like, Colby just found his on Monday. You got two, right, on Monday? So has everybody found two? So that's not an issue finding the documentaries. Let me check.
Just now finished the 9 questions for one by documentary.
Got it. Okay. Virtual, how are you guys doing? Is everybody around? So like Bo said, he just finished his questions for his one documentary. That means he's got another documentary to watch with the questions. And then, of course, once you finish that, then you'll be looking at what am I going to write about? What aspect am I going to say? So is that about where you guys are? Where else are you in this? Just need to know.
I didn't do the questions and finish some of them.
So you're like Bo. You're about equal with Bo then. Yeah. Okay. Anybody, how else are we? Okay. So Emily, finished my second documentary. Madison, I haven't chosen a due date for all of it because I was hoping that we could decide that together maybe this morning. So it's logical to think about the earliest you'd probably finish with both documentaries and questions is Friday, maybe mid-class, maybe end of class. So I'm thinking we're going to need maybe next Tuesday also to start writing the paper. So I don't know if we should have it due next Tuesday or maybe just next Thursday. What do y'all think? Next Thursday, sounds good? Everybody, remember, and when I'm asking that, I know my people who are like, well, I'm almost finished with mine. There is another assignment that I'm willing to move the due date. It's the decades assignment that everybody has assigned a decade that you're going to go in and just basically make a PowerPoint or what is it called? Slides. You're making slides on your decade. You're just picking, you're basically teaching a class about what was significant in that decade. I'm not settling on the 14th as the due date because that's next Wednesday. So that will be pushed. But I like to have something else always for people who work at different pace. That way no one's just sitting in here with nothing to do, but you feel challenged. And I want to remind everybody, it feels like, oh, we got all this work to do. We are getting ready to start reading Hamlet when we finish both projects. So we'll be reading the play, whole class, watching the film as we go and analyzing, doing activities like that. That will look more like an English class. And I know this is still in literature, but again, not just exactly like an English class, but it's its own little creation here. So that's what we're looking at. So the rest of the semester will be us looking at Hamlet, watching it, reading it, us looking at Hidden Figures, reading it, watching it, doing little things with it in class. So that's what it looks like. Questions or comments, anybody, for this? I'm not happy with my sample. I have some more comments. Hang on. So when is it due? All right. So we're going to go ahead and set next Thursday. Now I say that's with unless something happens or whatever, but I'm no one's protesting. So I'm thinking next Thursday, beginning of class, mid class, end of class. Is that something we need to kind of wait and see how we're going? Okay, so let's say we're going to say next Thursday. We're just not sure if we're going to try to have it. Well, I guess if we had at the beginning, that would be homework. So I don't really want you to have homework in here. So it'll either be middle of class or end of class. If that sounds good, everybody, we'll decide closer to time. So my answer is next Thursday, either middle of class or end of class for this project to be due. Let me know if you're running into any problems, okay? All right, graduation, Irene. Brown's graduation will be here on Monday at 9:30. He will be in the Fine Arts Center, and he's going to talk to you guys about graduation. And I wanted to reiterate to my seniors, the only thing you have to have for graduation is a cap and gown. He's got all these products, and they're great and they're pretty, but you don't have to have them. It's basically up to you and your parent or guardian what you want. A lot of people go, they do their own invitations or whatever. So don't feel. I want everybody to feel like, and I'm telling this to all my seniors, don't feel like, oh, I have to go this stuff. That's just personal. It's up to you guys. All right. So here we go. Have I answered all my questions here? Yes. All right. Quickly looking at mine, and I'm not happy with it. I'm going to go back and revamp it. Now, what's not going to change on my sample is the form. It's going to look just like a paper you turn into an English class because it's MLA. I got that frozen. It's MLA. So it needs to look just like this. And by the way, Docs has an automatic MLA form you can just select if y'all didn't know that. Y'all know that? You go to MLA, you go to report, you check MLA, and it basically has all this for you. All you have to do is fill in your information. And it's got a nice paper written in Latin. So it's some language. So you just need to go and fill in your own. So that's there for you guys as well. It needs to have a title. And again, you're coming out with something, and I don't like it. I'm going to read what I have, but I don't like it. I'm going to go back and change it. So I do like my title. It says "No Tricks Wanted in Disease Documentaries." That's what I feel. All right. So the documentary, "The Spanish Flu: How the Pandemic Changed the World," takes the viewer through history with mostly black and white photographs taken in the time period. The information is given through voiceover. The documentary, although only 30 minutes, provides a conclusion that is a felix culpa, which is the world was better off after the pandemic. Felix culpa just means something happened and it's actually, even though it seems awful, you're better off because of that terrible thing than you were before it. The documentary rushes this and thus uses this type of cop-out for the ending as a deus ex machina. There is no hint whatsoever in the film that it was going in this direction, with the exception of the title. Another documentary, however, on another deadly disease, and this is one I made up, slowly gives the reader what is promised. Before penicillin, like the Spanish flu documentary, Use a montage of pictures to set the historical background. The main difference between the structure of the two documentaries is that Before Penicillin uses pictures, Post Penicillin, and does not surprise the viewer with a quick ending, whereas the other does. Okay, I'm just going to go back and fix that. But obviously, I'm picking on what? The way it is kind of a trick ending. I don't like that. So that has to do with, it doesn't have plot. It just has to do with what they promised in the beginning. I don't really feel like they did it as should be done. So again, I didn't write the whole paper, but paragraph 1 after introduction should give specific details of the first documentary and how it rushes the film's conclusion. Now that's mine. And you can do this. It doesn't have to be like, okay, paragraph 1 is all about documentary 1. Paragraph 2 is all about documentary 2. You can mix it up in there however you want to arrange it. It just needs to make sense, be logical. Mine, I'm focusing on paragraph 1, and then I'm focused on paragraph 2 would be the other documentary. And then finally, a conclusion, unless, of course, you have more paragraphs to write. I haven't given you a length, but I would think at minimum, the introduction, 2 body paragraphs, conclusion, 4 minimum. All right, so it doesn't have to be 5 paragraphs, but I would think 4 with an intro, then your 2 body paragraphs and a conclusion would be what you would need. And then, of course, the works cited here, there. So I've listed, of course, everyone will have to have this first one. I've done it for you because that's the little questions that we're using to help us think about our paper. And then, of course, your 2 documentaries that you would want to list. And I've written out mine, and then I've written out basically what you look at, how you set it up and works cited. Okay. Questions? No? Okay. Are we ready to go? Let me check on my virtual. And Rachel, I'm going to clean my computer and let you sign in. Yeah. Let's see. Let me check on virtual. How are you virtual? Everybody good? I'm going to go ahead and stop recording. If I have anything new to add or something comes up, I'll start again, but that's all